Alright, Monoxide. You just touched on a subject that I'm very familiar with, and that's women's wrestling. Now, I've been a big advocate of women's wrestling for a very long time now, but as we all know, women's wrestling in WWE is not the same anymore, and I really blame Vince McMahon for this. Vince McMahon has put this image where if you want to be a woman wrestler, a successful woman wrestler, you got to be beautiful, and that's the image we have like of women's wrestling in America. And honestly, it's going downhill. The women's division, I don't know if it can ever recover again in WWE because it's been very crappy for a very long time. I've said this so many times now. What they need to do is make Beth Phoenix, or whoever the women's champion is, defend the title on Raw and SmackDown, because if you just let all the Raw divas go for the title, it's going to get boring after Raw, because Beth Phoenix she's beaten Mickie James plenty of times. She's beaten Candice Michelle now plenty of times. She hasn't fought Jillian. She actually beat Melina once in a triple threat match. So who else is there for her to fight? But now Ashley's in the picture, and we all know Ashley can't wrestle for shit. So now we're going to be seeing Ashley versus Beth Phoenix. That's not going to be good. Now, if Candice Michelle comes back from an injury, and I'm sure she will, they're going to make her go after Beth Phoenix again. They want her to be the Trish Stratus, basically, of the women's division. They want her to be the top face of the women's division. Now, can Candice Michelle be the new Trish Stratus? No one can be Trish Stratus. But because of Trish, every woman that's in the WWE now try to mold themselves Stratus. And I guess Vince likes that, but it's not going to ever happen again. It can't be another Trish Stratus because she was original. So my opinion on the WWE is they need to bring more girls up from OVW, because there's a lot of girls from OVW right now that are really good, but they need to be given a chance. So it's up to Vince to see if he can really actually care about giving these girls a chance and letting them go out there and have an actual wrestling match, and not just have them only for eye candy. But let's be real here. He wants Playboy models. He wants girls that look good as actresses. So that's all he cares about now. So that's how we're going to get for the WWE. WWE Women's Division over the years have gone through so many different patterns. I would say the best division they had was back in the late 90s when they had Ivory, Luna Vachon, Molly Holly, Trish Stratus, Lita. They had who else? Jacqueline, Gail Kim. They had a really good mixture, and Nydia. They had a really good mixture of girls that can wrestle and also girls that are just TNA. And they had their different feuds, which was very good, which I liked a lot. But we ain't gonna see that for a while in WWE, because Vince has totally turned his eye on women's wrestling. I think recently with Candice Michelle and Beth Phoenix feud, he tried to make them have a really good feud. We saw them have a 2 out of 3 falls match. We see them have some kind of decent matches with each other, and it was pretty good. But it just wasn't good enough. I really want to see Beth Phoenix versus Victoria, but either Victoria has to turn face or Beth turns face, and I can't see neither one of them happening like that, But it would be nice. I honestly think I want to see Jillian Hall as a women's champion, because from watching the OVW matches, she's a really good wrestler, but she hasn't been able to showcase her talent yet. But I like her gimmick, and she's been going over with the crowd, so I think giving Jillian Hall the title would be a good thing too. But as of now, they're not really using Beth Phoenix full potential. They don't even have her on the mic that much. They don't have her cutting no heel promos. They don't have her doing nothing but just going out there and wrestling and kicking ass, and that's it. And it's boring. I don't think the fans are totally behind Beth as this monster heel diva, even though they see her as a glamazon, and she is. But WWE hasn't really pushed her as that dominant heel that I don't think yet. She needs more time on the mic, cutting more promos. Now as for TNA, the knockout division, I hate that title as well. I hate the title knockout. Like what happened to women's wrestling? I guess women's wrestling is boring now. They gotta have always titles for women now. But their division is pretty good. I think their division right now is the best division going on in TNA. It's fresh, it's exciting, it's very enjoyable to watch. People are really into it. What I was so proud about was seeing Gail Kim and Awesome Kong at Final Resolution. The crowd was so hyped up and amped up for this match. They were so into it, and that made me smile, because it's shown that if women can go out there, given the chance to show their talent, people will respond to that and people will like it. and people did like that match, and it was awesome, you know. Now that Gail is injured and ODB now is the #1 contender, I think they might have a chance for a good feud here, because ODB is powerful, Awesome Kong is powerful. They're going to have this classic power matchup between women, which is something we rarely see. That should be interesting to see. Now, in their match, I think ODB, she has to body slam Awesome Kong. If she body slams her, then it really will solidify her as this really strong female that can dominate Awesome Kong and go after her. I doubt she'll get the title right away, because they probably have Awesome Kong have the title for a while. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the division focuses now without Gail Kim in it, because Gail Kim needs a much needed rest, because she has been working her ass off for so long now. She needs to rest. So now we're going to see, now that the focus is off Gail Kim, they're going to put more focus on ODB. Awesome Kong is getting all the push already. We'll see now girls like, hopefully, Velvet Sky and Angelina Love, they can be more of just like these pretty girls going out there and actually doing something, like instead of being jobbers. They've been kind of like jobbers lately. You know, they remind me honestly of this tag team back in the 80s in the WWF. They were called the Glamour Girls. It consists of Leilani Kai and it was what's her name, Judy Martin. And back in the early like WWF in the 80s, the women's division was really awesome, and they actually had a women's tag team division and tag team champions, and the Glamour Girls were the tag team champions. So if they would make like Angelina Love and Velvet Sky like the new version of the Glamour Girls, that would be pretty good, honestly. But we'll see what happens with their division. I think Roxy Laveau, she needs to break out of being with Kit James and BG James. Let her be on her own. Miss Brooks is going to be in a feud now with that other girl, I forgot her name. So they're going to have a little catfighting feud. Jackie Moore, I don't know what's up with her. Like, they don't really do much for her right now, but she needs to be back in the division, and we'll see what happens with that. I want to also talk to you about, you touched on Alundra Blaze. You know, I'm a huge fan of hers. You know, Medusa. I doubt, well, point blank, she will never be back in the WWE. You know, you suggested maybe she should fight Beth Phoenix. It's never going to happen, because when she threw the title, the women's title, back on Nitro, that was it. Like, that pretty much ended her whole career. You know, a few years ago, she tried to call, you know, Vince McMahon, because she was coming out with a best of all her matches on a DVD, and she wanted some WWF footage, and Vince refused to give her any kind of footage of any of her matches in WWF, because he still has this like this hatred for her for what she did. Like, he doesn't want to forgive her for what she did, and she begged him and cried on the phone, actually, you know, trying to, like, you know, patch things up, and he didn't want to hear it. And that really pisses me off, because he can forgive Hogan, Hall, Nash, and all these other people that try to screw him over the years, but he can't forgive her. So seeing her, Alundra Blaze, Medusa, back in WWE will never happen ever again. Also, she's a monster truck driver now, so she's done with wrestling completely. But it would have been nice to see her in TNA and see how she would match up in TNA, because she's an awesome, phenomenal wrestler. She paved the way for so many women, a great athlete, you know. But yeah, I think right now, women's wrestling in America, you have to go, like, yeah, TNA got a good division right now. WWE's division is slumping. But if you want to see real women's wrestling in America, you have to check out Shimmer. Shimmer is the place to go to see real women's wrestling. That is, they don't hardly get any kind of, you know, notoriety. They don't got a lot of publicity at all. But I've been watching the DVDs, and it's awesome. I mean, it is some great stuff. And I hope they can get a TV deal, because they needed, they showcase women the way they should be showcased, showing their talent over their tits, and that's what's important. That's what I like. So that's where it's happening right now for me, Shimmer. But yeah, TNA, I really commend them right now. They have their women's division. It's getting strong. It's very good. I hope they don't fuck things up. It's going to be interesting now to see what happens with Gail Kim out the picture. So I hope they make things right. So that's what I wanted to say, and talk to you later, man.